What do all the successful people, Hamza, Jake Paul, the Tate brothers have in common? It's discipline. With discipline, you can achieve anything you want, whether that's getting a six-pack, making 10K per month, or a million per month, or becoming famous online. It all requires discipline, but how do you actually develop it? The first time I ever got disciplined was 3 years ago. Before that, I was always seeking short-term instant gratification activities like porn, weed, video games, and I never achieved any of my goals. Big surprise. And after I harnessed my discipline and self-control, things started to go really well for me, and my life started to just kind of naturally improve. I started to get into the best shape of my life. I attracted some of the girls of my dreams. I started an online business, made 10K per month, and life just started to go in an upward spiral. And I want the exact same thing for every single one of you. I want you to experience all that life has to offer. But if you keep acting like a monkey, acting on your impulses, always seeking short-term gratification, and never being able to see through your goals long-term, you're never going to accomplish anything. So in this video, I'm gonna be giving you all the steps to improve your discipline and become the best version of yourself. To start off with the first one, I want you to imagine in your kitchen, the only thing that you have is junk food. Everywhere you look, there's cookies, soda, candy. What do you think you're gonna do on a long enough time frame? Do you think you're gonna indulge in some of these? Of course you are. I would too. Even the most disciplined person in the world would. The first step to being disciplined is curating your environment to be easily disciplined. If you are just surrounded by constant distractions and triggers, it's gonna make it an uphill battle for you to achieve your goals. So you need to be thinking about removing distractions and adding positive cues, like putting a book by your bedside or something along those lines that's gonna allow you to do the good habits. It is that simple. Environment design is one of the first things you need to tackle in becoming disciplined. And for the next thing, I want you to imagine I told you to run 10 miles a day for no reason. Would you do it, and would you do it on a long enough basis and stay consistent with it? Probably not. I probably wouldn't even do it the first day, and yet I'm a very disciplined person. And why is that? Because the rewards are not made known. Why the fuck would I want to run 10 miles every single day if I'm not going to gain anything from it? And in my mind, I might even lose because it's bad for my physique to do long-term cardio. Do you see how all the reasons can start stacking up against something when you don't have the rewards clearly identified? That's the next thing that you need to do, is you need to make the rewards known of your discipline. There's always gonna be a reward with doing a disciplined act. That's why we do it. It's delayed gratification. You're gonna get something that you wouldn't get in the moment, but would get in the long run if you stay consistent with it. So you need to really understand what is it that you're gaining in the long run and sacrificing in the short term in order to get that long-term thing. This is the key to staying disciplined, is understanding the rewards that come with it and what you're actually gonna gain from doing the disciplined acts on a consistent basis, even when it's tough, difficult, and you don't feel like doing it. For example, I love creating videos, but there's some days when I don't feel good. I don't feel great on camera. I just came over having a sickness and a cold and a flu actually. And here I am recording videos because I know the rewards that are gonna come along with this. That's why I make them every single day, because I understand the rewards that come with it and the pain and suffering that comes from working a basic 9-to-5 job. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to work a basic 9-to-5. I want to build a brand that will allow me to live financially free and live my life. So I come to make these videos every single day, no matter how I feel. That is the power of understanding the rewards that come along with discipline. And the next thing you need to do to have success with discipline is simplify the process of doing the good habits. Imagine going to the gym took you getting your dogs, your huskies ready, riding a sled into the nearest town 20 miles away, and there they had a gym that you would work out in, and it's freezing cold on the way there. How often do you think you'd actually go to the gym? I probably wouldn't. That's a hassle. But if going to the gym is just a quick elevator trip down your building, or a quick drive over to work, or it's just a couple of minutes away, then it's not that difficult in order to stay consistent with it, because it's not super inconvenient. Same thing with having a book by your bedside and reading a chapter when you first wake up. If you just set your alarm 30 minutes early and your book is the first thing right there next to you, it's just simple to go grab the book and start reading. You're simplifying the process of doing a habit. The more resistance there is to get started with something, the more excuses, the more things that are going to come along and distract you from doing that good thing. And the easier you can make it to get started, the more likely you will have that success and stay consistent with it long term. Now, this next one ties into the last one a little bit. You need to make it very clear when you need to do that habit. You need to make the time and the location very obvious. Those are the two most important factors. This is like going to school. Say your teacher gave you a school project and gave you no instructions as to when it's due or anything like that. So you just go home, look it over, and come back the next day with nothing done. And he's there expecting a completed project and you failed, all because you didn't understand when the project was due. It's the same thing with your habits. A lot of the time you don't lack discipline, you lack clarity. Like that book example I just gave you was really good, because if you know the first thing you do in the morning is you pick up that book and you read for 30 minutes, the time is first thing in the morning as soon as your alarm goes off, and the location is right there in your bed. You don't even have to leave in order to start reading. And that's it. Time, location are set. Now you just have to actually do it. There's no excuses anymore. You just simply do it. It's that simple. But if you don't have the time and location set, if it's like read at some point throughout the day, it's much easier to get lost in all the activities of life and end up forgetting to do it. So that's the most important thing, is setting the time and location for these habits that you want to do every single day. When are you going to do them? Where are you going to do them? And this really helps you know exactly what to do and have clarity so there's no excuses. And lastly, the most important aspect to building discipline and staying consistent with anything long term is going to be the identity. So all the things I gave you are all tricks to help you build your identity. And once you become that person that does that disciplined act, that habit, like going to the gym, you then just start to see yourself as a fit person, a healthy person, a person who is a gym goer, a gym rat, right? You hear that expression all the time. People are like, oh, I'm a gym rat. That's because their identity is now tied to the gym. It's that simple. So they see themselves as someone who goes to the gym. So the time, the location, the habit tracking, it doesn't really matter, because they're always going to find their way back to the gym, because that's who they are as a person. They don't know anything without it. Larry Wheels, one of the world's strongest men, he gets injuries all the time. I've seen him tear his bicep, all these crazy things. And where do you always see him end back up? In the gym, because he sees himself as the world's strongest man. He's a gym goer. He's a fit person. That's who his identity is. He wouldn't know what to do without the gym. If he lost all that muscle, he would have a serious identity crisis. I don't know him, but this is what most people would go through if they had something like that and then lost it. It's so closely tied to their identity and their sense of self that without it, they wouldn't know what to do. And that's an extreme example, but this is what you need to cultivate in your daily life with the new habits you're trying to build. Is you need to ingrain them into your identity and your sense of self. So you just are a reader. You are a gym goer. You are someone who eats healthy. You're someone who goes and talks to every pretty girl they see. That's just who you are as a person. And once that's going to be your identity, and you're going to act it out automatically. And it's not going to require much discipline and hard work in order to do those things. And that's the last and final step to succeeding. So now, if you got any value from this video, go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel. And if you want my help with anything beyond what you see in this video, and you want to actually get some one-on-one help and actionable steps in order to achieve your goals, then book a free coaching call with me down below, where we can work together to do that.